As BC's affordable housing crisis grinds on, many are looking for creative solutions. Some are finding that in Habitat for Humanity Victoria. The agency is pitching 14 new townhomes in Saanich, financed with affordable mortgages. That plan is now awaiting approval from the district of Saanich. Scott Dutchak is the CEO of Habitat for Humanity Victoria. Scott, thanks for joining us. First of all, could you explain how this housing project is going to work if it goes through?
Yeah, so what we're proposing is the largest project in our organization's history. We have 14 stacked townhouses, 13 of which are three-bedroom homes, and then we have one bedroom, fully accessible home. And as you mentioned, we just recently submitted our planning documentation. We're a bit away from putting a shovel in the ground, but it's an exciting project for a few reasons. Number one, it's what people call missing middle, something that's been talked about a lot, but not a lot of people have seen. It's family-sized units, as I mentioned, and third, it's focused on affordable home ownership, which allows working families to become homeowners and realize all those benefits. So your viewers might also be interested to know that Habitat for Humanity is the only national nonprofit focused on, finding that middle ground between rental housing and ownership.
When you say affordable, what are we talking about? How much would it cost somebody?
So, we haven't issued our construction contracts yet, but it's going to be significantly below market. And the people that we help are employed. They have an ability to pay a mortgage, although they're moderate income. And, they've perhaps been frustrated with the inability to overcome, the burden of coming up with a huge down payment to buy a house or carry a mortgage. So that's who we help, but it'll be significantly below market prices.
Habitat for Humanity is offering a tailor-made mortgage. How do you manage to do that?
Right, so it's a really good feature of our organization where we build the houses inexpensively out of the gate because we're a nonprofit, and then we work with partner families to come up with a commercial first mortgage for around 50 to 60% of the value of the house, and then we come in with a tailored second mortgage that is interest-free, and we gear it to ensure that the families spend no more than 30% of their household income on shelter costs. So that's how we work with the program, and it's been very successful for us in the past, and we're looking forward to doing it on this project as well.
How difficult is it for nonprofits like yours to spearhead these kinds of housing projects? How much leeway do you get?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. The biggest challenge that we have is coming up with financing and funding. And, there's been a lot of talk these days about the housing crisis, rightfully so. And there's been a lot of focus on purpose-built rental housing. But what we're concerned about is really without meaningful pathways from rental to home ownership, we risk bifurcating Canadian society into a renter class and an ownership class. So we've been trying to work with the province and the feds for financing, and trying to tackle into some of those, great ambitious strategies they've used for rental housing, like no GST, low-cost financing, surplus government lands. We think those should also be available to nonprofit home ownership groups like ours.
Right. Scott Dutchak, CEO of Habitat for Humanity Victoria, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.